Hello again, welcome to another bulb log video garden diary walk. I thought I'd start in the bulb houses with the wee narcissus. Last time I went to them at the end of the video, but this time I'll start here briefly and just give you an update of how they're doing. As you can see, we've got the really lot of little flowers inside, but also, as you can see outside now, if you look beyond the window, you can see there's a lot happening outside. The weather over this last while has been really bad. We've seen very little sun. We've got sun today for the first time for a while. It's mostly been rain or snow, which has caused we always have a trouble in our winter with our low light of the narcissus etiolating, the stems growing up looking for light and then flopping over. But it's even more so this year. But well, you couldn't take a pot out of there and stick it on a show bench, it would just look terrible. The mass of flowering is really pretty. So we've got bulbicodiums, there's this little one here that's just coming. It's pretty. I'll show you that in the next bulb house. There's more coming out there. This is a little bulbicodium hybrid. This of course is Craigton Clumper. And we got all sorts, so if I grab a couple just here that I can show you directly and compare. Very different. Here's one with a good stout stem. This is what I always looked for when I was hybridizing, doing a bit of crossing, with good strong stems. This is a real beauty, this one, with wide flared flowers, slightly rolled back. And one of the best breeders of little daffodils is Anne Wright at Dryad Nurseries, and these are some of the ones we've got from her in recent years, just growing here. So all sorts of pretty little things. This is Narcissus cantabricus that we raised from seed that I got from a friend in Spain, from one of those populations where you see it just carpeting hillsides. So it's quite tiny, but this is its first year of flowering, so maybe it will grow bigger. Anyhow, let's move out of this bulb house. There's the other one beyond over there, but we won't bother. We looked at that the last time. Come out. We'll come back to the outside in a minute. I just want to go and have a look in the other bulb house. The sand bed that took such a hammering in the last severe winter we had, it froze up and most of the stuff died. It's starting to come back with a different range. I'm trying to create a different effect in here, just like you would in the garden. Slightly different plants and plantings. This little tiny narcissus down here, it's like the bigger cousin. This end bed was also affected, but not quite so much. And then this one here, I just step back and give you a look. This side, for some reason, well, I do know the reason, it was the mixture of sand is better here. So you can see the start of the crocuses. A few different crocuses. I see Corydalis coming in there as well. So you've got the darker bulbicodiums. This is that wee one I was showing you over there just coming up, this wee bulbicodium hybrid. It's a lovely little thing. Unfortunately, I keep trying them outside, but they don't survive outside here for us. So we'll just come back out and have a quick wander around in the sunshine. Cyclamen comb probably at their peak flowering at the moment in this bed. So very pretty. And as we move across this over the edge of this little bed, it edges on forms a corner of this. This is the Galanthus Elizabeth Harris and the yellow form, or the yellow ovaried Galanthus Warrenaway. And there we see an iris, one of the first iris up, Sheila Ann, Germany. But all more snowdrops. That clump, if I get the time and the weather this week, I'm going to split it. I'll just get a fork in gently at the base of it and ease it up so I can take away half of it and spread it around. You can see all the primroses and pushing up. But what we are seeing just now really is the snowdrops. This is another of the yellows. Don't ask me which. But it's slightly different to that one. We come along this side so I can get the sun behind me. Crocus vernus, an old-fashioned, one of the old Dutch selections of Crocus vernus, very deep royal purple. They're a bit subtle, you don't always notice them, they're so dark. But a lot of these, I'm looking down here, I'm suspecting that some of these are the Aran Wright's Dryad Gold series, because there's quite a few of the yellow ones there. I know I planted more over there, but I'm very liable to have put a few there. New leaves coming up on the primroses, Primula auricula. You can see the old leaves here, we can almost ditch them because they probably served our purpose. And just more snowdrops here. There's a lot of gaps in the snowdrops. I could link up more, and that's my inclination, is to split some of these clumps down a bit and fill in these gaps, which are gaps just now, but believe me, the problem is that when I dig in I can't do too much, because if I dig in there's stuff down there and I don't want to damage what's down there when I'm digging a hole to plant out some and spread the snowdrops around, so it becomes a problem. This is why allowing things to seed around is best, because the seedlings just put themselves in, squeeze in gently beside the other plants that are there. So we'll just walk around this bit, get up towards the trough and the slab beds, past the cobble bed. Here's the primrose, I think I showed it. Can't remember if I showed it in the video last time, I certainly spoke about it in the bulb log. And the other one over there at the base of the tree, it's showing the flowers. These are the first two to show flowers up here. Snowdrops, snowflakes. I think that might be the one they call trumps, with the green tips. So you can see how sunny it is today. And this is lovely, and it's a bit mild, because I'm waiting for it to sunny. I've still got leaves that blew in after I cleared all this. I'm waiting for them to be not soaking wet and not frozen to get them lifted, and I can't wait for the weather to be nice so I can get out here and spend a day or two out tidying and getting the garden a bit, getting all these autumn stuff away, all these old leaves. This is the Dryad Gold group. All the wee snowdrops in this bed are Anne Wright's Dryad Gold. Didn't really mention the Aranthus. They're coming, showing colour, but it's not been warm enough for them to open their flowers yet. Maybe this later today they might. I see some just starting to flex. So it's just starting to get, it's certainly reaching about 6 degrees today. It's a milder wind. But you can see the light and shade in the garden. And why snowdrops are so good at this time of year, because of their whiteness. They jump out of even the shadier areas, especially if the sun hits them. Even beds with the alpines and the saxifrages. There's wee crocuses there. That's another of the Dryad Gold series. If I was more organised, I should keep all their names separate and keep them in pots, but that's not the kind of gardener I am. I like to create effects and just pretty little vignettes and little daffodils here as well. The Cyclaminius and Minimus up here, these are the Cyclaminius I think. But I'm seeing all sorts of other shoots just starting to poke through, so we'll see more of them in the coming weeks. The Iris Catherine Hodgkins escaping, running riot in the erythronium bed. Oh, and look at these snowdrops, they're actually managing to raise their skirts and open their flowers, which is lovely. Round here, although the Cyclamen hydrifolium is long past its flowering, it still gives good decorative value, these lovely silver leaves. And around it there's Aranthus seedlings and Corydalis seedlings and all sorts. The leucodiums. And here we have more of the Dryad Gold series. You wonder why we've got so many. We just got a few originally from Anne. I think we got a few bulbs of each of the ones she had named. And initially I grew them in a pot to break them down. Bad treat them in a way. You can read about that in my bulb log. Where you bad treat them and it increases the bulbs. So they break down into more small ones. And then you build them back up and it gives you a quick way to increase them. And then I planted them all out. And it just shows you what a good series and good group they are, because they're really good in the garden and they're all forming nice clumps. These are the ideal size of a clump. When they get clumps beyond that, they're starting to be too good for their own good. They start to be in competition. The leucodiums, and then the snowdrops, leucodiums down into the path, and the snowdrops. The stuff in the path's all self-seeded. They seed out from the bed. I like all the foliage as well. I like it that the beds are covering up now and I don't see the ground. That was a big clump of daffodils there that I split it up, and now I've got them individually planted all around this bed in this area. The Aranthus in the path. It's going to make it awkward when I come to do another clean of these leaves. I wouldn't like to tell you how many times I've cleaned this path and cleared it of leaves, and between the wind and the foraging birds. It's covered up again. So we'll just walk around and going to go up here. Through the gate to the pond. There's no frogs doing anything in there yet, it's way too cold. We don't get frog spawn until at least April. Down in this bed, masses of shoots, masses of leaves, not so many flowers. We've got there the first signs of the erythronium caucasicum. A couple there and another one there. The bed where I cut back all the wee roddies that weren't wee anymore, they were huge. They've all responded well. Well, most of them, some have not responded too well, but they're all budding back down and we'll manage to create a more youthful, compact bush again. And also it opens up the space around them. I can drop in some little bulbs in there. I've already planted some anemone blandas and stuff in there. So it's still very early as it's February. Excuse me. Look at the Crocus thomasinianus. Often criticised for being too good a plant, too willing to flower and spread. We should never criticise plants for that, we should welcome that. Hellebores, oh I didn't show you, there's more hellebores around, but they just didn't bud yet. There was a big one in there, but I only see a tiny bit of leaf. I'm wondering if the very dry weather we had last year has set some of them back a bit. The garden is not only full of the leaves I haven't picked up, it's full of sticks because the magpies are building nests and they're hauling sticks about and they keep dropping them. And they never pick them off the ground, they're always pulling them off the trees. So more thomasinianus going up to more snowdrops. And we go up into the shade at this area. Still to come and get all the allium. These dried stems you see are allium wallichi. And of course still erythronium stems now having shed their seed. Soon as this area dries out a wee bit, I'll get up here and tidy that as well. But here we have this is kind of like snowdrops, just scattered out and spread around. And this is the newer areas where I've been bringing them and planting them. Planting them individually and spread out to look more like a natural planting rather than great clumps of them. But the trouble is, after a few years they become clumps. All the bigger leaves of the colchicum we looked at in the autumn. There's Galanthus warrenoi, and then some of the other bigger Galanthus that I planted up here. Again, here's one we look at the green tips. All you people that study the snowdrops, you probably know what it is. I don't really mind. It's just a variation, and I like variation. I don't need it to be named. And so with more, look, here's wee Crocus thomasinianus seated down in amongst the debris. And this is probably as good a place to finish as any. We've got the snowdrops and the crocus going up to the trees and the shrubs and up to the blue sky for the moment. So with the blue sky moment, I'll say goodbye today and I'll see you the next time, but that's the garden in February after a particularly bad spell of winter weather, and we're not out of it yet. This is maybe just a moment where we must savour and enjoy. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.